See those rocks sticking up there? Been standing up there for 600 million years. Still be there when you and I are gone.
What happens when the man who gave the world Crocodile Dundee, the rugged, smiling hero of the outback, admits that behind the charm was heartbreak? From scaling the Sydney Harbor Bridge to conquering Hollywood, Paul Hogan seemed unstoppable. But love can be the toughest battle of all. His whirlwind romance with Linda Kozlowski began like a fairy tale, only to collapse into regret, pain, and haunting memories. This is the shocking truth Hogan never wanted to face. Born on October 8, 1939, in the dusty outback town of Lightning Ridge, New South Wales, Hogan grew up in a working-class world shaped by the Great Depression and the echoes of World War II. Nothing about his humble beginnings hinted that one day he'd become an international icon. But the grit, humor, and resilience of those years carved into him the down-to-earth charisma that later won over millions. At first, he wasn't a polished entertainer. He wasn't trained in drama schools or guided by mentors. Instead, Paul Hogan took a leap of faith. In 1971, he stepped onto the stage of New Faces, a talent show for unknown performers. His brand of comedy, cheeky, self-deprecating, and unmistakably Australian, struck like lightning. The audience roared, the judges loved him, and suddenly the bridge rigger became a comedian. Soon after, Hogan created The Paul Hogan Show, a sketch comedy that defined Australian TV throughout the 1970s and 80s. Irreverent, absurd, and endlessly funny, the show mocked stereotypes, everyday struggles, and even himself. Australians adored it. His humor even reached as far as South Africa, making Hogan an entertainer with international reach. By 1973, he had already won a Logie Award for Best New Talent. The kid from Lightning Ridge had officially arrived, but Hogan's biggest leap was still ahead. In 1986, he co-wrote and starred in Crocodile Dundee, the movie that would catapult him from Australian celebrity to global superstar. As Michael J. Crocodile Dundee, the rugged bushman with a mischievous grin, Hogan gave audiences a hero unlike anything they'd seen before. Made on a modest budget of under $10 million, the film stunned Hollywood by grossing hundreds of millions worldwide. It wasn't just a box office triumph, it was a cultural event. Hogan won a Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Comedy, and his screenplay earned him an Academy Award nomination. Almost overnight, he became more than just an entertainer. He was a cultural symbol of Australia, a living icon. And it was during this whirlwind of fame that Hogan's life changed in a more personal, irreversible way. In 1985, while filming Crocodile Dundee, he met Linda Kozlowski, a 27-year-old actress fresh out of Juilliard. She had landed her first major role as Sue Charlton, the daring journalist who followed Dundee into the wild. On-screen, their chemistry was electric. Off-screen, it was undeniable. Hogan later admitted, "I knew I was in trouble the moment I laid eyes on her." Linda echoed, "When we acted together, it felt so natural I forgot I was in front of a camera." But there was one devastating complication. Paul Hogan was already married to Noeline Edwards, his wife of nearly 3 decades and the mother of his 5 children. So when Hogan divorced Noeline Edwards in 1986, just as Crocodile Dundee became a global sensation, the scandal exploded. Tabloids splashed headlines like "Paul Hogan leaves wife for on-screen lover." Linda was branded the other woman and a homewrecker. Despite the uproar, Hogan and Linda Kozlowski pressed forward. In 1990, they married in a quiet, private ceremony. For a while, it seemed their love would conquer everything. From the outside, Paul and Linda appeared inseparable. They were Hollywood's Aussie-American power couple, smiling on red carpets, raising their son Chance Hogan, born in 1998. But behind closed doors, cracks began to form. Paul Hogan was, at heart, a traditional man. Away from the spotlight, he craved a quiet family life. To him, providing for the family and staying loyal was the ultimate expression of love. But Linda was different. Ambitious, independent, and brimming with curiosity. She wanted more than to be just Mrs. Hogan. She longed to act, to travel, to carve her own identity. That clash between tradition and independence began to poison their bond. Linda later admitted she often felt trapped in her own home. A close friend revealed, "From the outside, it looked like she had everything, but in reality, she had lost herself." Even the birth of Chance Hogan couldn't heal the rift. Paul adored his son, pouring all his energy into fatherhood at nearly 60 years old. Hogan, meanwhile, believed he was doing everything right. But as he later admitted, "I always thought I was doing the right thing. But sometimes, that's not enough to make someone stay." By 2013, after 23 years of marriage, Linda Kozlowski filed for divorce in Los Angeles, citing irreconcilable differences. Unlike his first divorce, this one was amicable. Paul didn't fight her financial requests. Insiders say he agreed easily, perhaps out of guilt, perhaps out of love. In 2014, their marriage was officially over. To the world, Paul Hogan was the eternal Crocodile Dundee, strong, confident, larger than life. But inside, he was shattered. He once described divorce as surgery without anesthesia. You feel every cut, every tear. It leaves scars you can't see, but you feel them every single day. He admitted that after Linda left, even simple moments became daggers. Walking past her empty chair, seeing her coffee cup in the cupboard. The silence of their home was deafening, as he put it. People think the pain ends once the papers are filed, but that's when it begins. That's when you start living with the absence, the loneliness, the wondering if you could have done something different. For Linda Kozlowski, life after Hogan meant freedom. She left Hollywood, a place that had both given her fame and taken away her independence. She moved to Morocco, where she began a new life far from the spotlight. There, she met Moulay Hafid Baba, a businessman younger than her, and found a new love built on shared values rather than red carpets. Together, they built a real estate business and a quieter, more fulfilling existence. Rare photographs show Linda glowing, smiling wider than she ever had in Hollywood. Free from the shadow of Hogan's fame, she finally rediscovered herself. Paul Hogan, however, stayed behind in Los Angeles, in the same Venice beach house that once echoed with Linda's laughter. In a rare 2022 interview, Hogan admitted, "I once had it all: fame, fortune, a wonderful wife. But in the end, I lost the one thing that mattered most." Even at 85, he confessed he still thought about Linda every day. "Sometimes I wonder if I had changed a little. Would she have stayed?" Today, Paul Hogan remains a symbol of a golden era. His creation, Crocodile Dundee, still sparks nostalgia worldwide. In 2022, he made a rare appearance at the premiere of Crocodile Dundee, the encore cut, marking more than 40 years since the film's release. Fans cheered, grateful to see their beloved Dundee once more. But behind the cheers is a man haunted by what he lost. Though he once called his marriage to Linda Kozlowski a lonely nightmare, he also admitted it was the most beautiful chapter of his life. And Linda? In Morocco, she walks through markets with Moulay Hafid Baba by her side, living freely, happily, no longer defined by Hollywood or by being someone's supporting role. Their story is more than just another Hollywood romance. It's a tale of passion, sacrifice, scandal, and heartbreak. It's proof that love, no matter how magical, sometimes isn't enough. For Paul Hogan, the legend of Crocodile Dundee will live forever on screen. But off-screen, his greatest role was that of a husband who couldn't hold on to the love of his life. So what's your take? Was Paul Hogan a man who sacrificed loyalty for passion, or just someone trapped between love and fame? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed uncovering the untold story of Paul Hogan and Linda Kozlowski, hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more powerful Hollywood stories you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching.